It's time to light it up officially. J5 Clothing Company, better known as Johnny 5 Clothing, is now the exclusive licensee of all official X-Lights merch. Head up xlightsmerch.com to grab pixel perfect gear like a lighting nerd snapback, the Don't Cross the Data hoodie, and the Sequencer Squad graphic tee, all designed for the community, by the community. And for our diehard donors, we've got exclusive limited run items just for you. Colorways, tags, and designs you won't find anywhere else. Wear it proud because you made this possible. Every single purchase you make sends 100% of the proceeds directly back to X-Lights, the open source engine behind your favorite light shows. So rock the gear, fund the future, and show the world what it means to be part of the Pixel family. Go now to xlightsmerch.com. Powered by J5 Clothing Company. Style for the season, support for the software.
What's up, Brian?
What's going on, man?
Not much. I've been busy.
Oh yeah, that's to say the least. I I have to schedule an appointment so I can learn LOR. How's that?
Yes, you do need
Yeah.
LOR.
I was just talking to Aubrey.
So, one thing I was just noticing, our intro commercial talks about the X-Lights merch. I haven't put the new one on there about FPP merch, but I'm kind of disappointed. It's been out for about 3 or 4 weeks, and only like 3 people have ordered stuff. And me,
Really?
one of them. Like,
Oh,
you would think people would do stuff to support X-Lights. Like,
Oh, yeah.
overall donations is down lower than it's ever been.
no.
And so we were like, oh, we'll give them something they actually get for with their donation. And not that many people, and I don't understand it. Like, it's a
Well-
free software everybody loves, and nobody does anything to like really support it anymore. It's
Well,
crazy.
maybe we need to repost it in the groups and stuff. Maybe
I think
people
so,
should
but
listen to it.
I don't want to like spam it though. You know what I mean? It's that hard
Yeah,
line
you
of,
gotta.
like, I want people to do this, but I don't want to spam it everywhere.
Yeah,
Because I think FPP and X-Lights both should be getting, donations and stuff like that. And the
Heck
merch
yeah.
we thought was a cool way because then they actually get something for it. But yeah. So
I'll have
how
to-
was
I'll
your
have to go
weekend?
on- I'll have to
Because
go on there and look.
that was something I just thought of right now. And but anyways, how was your weekend?
Shitty, crappy.
Why?
Well,
Well, yeah,
I
you
think-
weren't here last week.
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get my wife a new puppy because she won't even sit in her recliner that she shared with
Oh,
her biscuit. So, yeah, she sits next to me now, and that's just weird. So,
yeah,
just teasing, trying to make light of it. But
yeah.
no, actually, catching fish, having an up close encounter with a rattlesnake, and catching fish while we're doing that, and yeah, it's a good time. So, rattlesnake was he had 6 beads on his tail, so he's a little bit old.
You were up
and
to see how many
what's-
beads you had.
Oh yeah, we were close. Yeah, it was close. We now wear muck boots, and I know our conversation that we had here last week or whatever, we were talking about muck boots and mud boots, and I thought about it after, and I'm like, well, I don't say mud boots because I mean that's what they are, but they're muck. Because when I say mud boots, it reminds me of like a 70-year-old grandma working out in her garden. So I thought
Okay.
about that.
You're not a skid steer guy. You're a bobcat. Anyways,
Lever pulling. I've operated all of them, so you name it, and I've probably operated it. So
this weekend was Faye's 10th birthday party. which I had
nice.
James make some custom Coro names because it was her and her friend Alyssa's. And it was also my 11th wedding anniversary. But we don't ever do anything for that because my daughter's birthday the next day. So
Yeah.
yay. But yeah, that was the weekend. Clyde's here, so maybe we should start the intro. What do you think?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's get this going. Maybe I should push the right button.
Recorded in front of a live studio audience. This is a Matos Designs production.
And I am not done! Or
I like your line. I like your prices. There's a problem. There's no guarantee on the box.
You can't hang out with chickens and expect to soar with eagles.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
An electrician got your light worker.
And now your hosts,
JR and Brian.
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
What's up, Clyde?
Clyde!
How is it going, guys? Can you hear me good?
Yep.
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Leave it
All
Charlie.
right. All
So
right.
Clyde is no shy guy to being in live videos and
heck
being
no.
online all the time. But I don't know how many times Clyde's actually got to talk about what he actually puts on at home, because he is one of the few vendors that actually does a home display, which I think is really cool. So we have Clyde on here to talk about what he has at his house. What do you think, Brian?
Heck yeah.
Are you working? I told you not to do anything else but this right now.
I'm on the clock. I'm never not working.
Jeez.
So I know how that feels, because
Yeah.
you're never
Right.
not on the clock.
I'm
You're
glad
always-
I'm glad you made it home safely and got through traffic and everything. So
Yeah, well, sometimes I actually have to leave the house,
well, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good to go somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're talking about putting a home show together, huh?
Yeah, we're talking about what you do and then a little bit about yourself, because a lot of people know who Clyde is, but I don't know if everybody knows
Who
everything
Clyde
about
is.
Clyde.
Yeah.
Just
I-
PPD
I-
Clyde.
I don't know how far back you want me to go and talk about,
Well,
but I mean, there's a lot. I mean, with the lighting stuff, we'll start with the lighting stuff, I guess. I started doing a home show back in when I bought my house in Leechburg, and that was in 2004. I didn't actually do a show. I had been living at home with my mother until I bought the house in Leechburg, and it was a weird time between me moving from Cincinnati back to Pittsburgh. And so I stayed at the house for a while, my old bedroom, and I was in my mid 20s, and I just got excited because, man, I could decorate her house, and she had a big house, and we had a huge yard. I grew up with a huge yard, like 3/4 of an acre in town. And so that year I was like 25, and I decorated the crap out of the yard, and I found all these cheap Christmas lights on sale the week after Christmas, and I'm like, these are like 50 cents a box. Like this, I was doing a little better in my life at that point. I was like, I could throw like $50 at this and really have like a bunch of these for next year. And that's kind of where I started at. I mean, my mom was the one who kind of started me down the path. She liked the idea that I was interested in putting lights up, and I always wanted to do that. And I did that at the age of 10, and she would kind of feed the habit, but she didn't feed it too much because, money's tight. So, I was happy to get what I got. And so I went hog wild with lights and different decorating stuff. And the next year, I'd say I was 26, and I hadn't moved out yet. It was that winter, and I just put all those lights up, and just everywhere. I had them all over the trees, and and it was not pretty, but it was pretty. It was the best that house had ever looked.
Awesome.
And she was excited. She was very excited. But then the next year I moved into my house. I bought the house in Leechburg, and I took all my lights with me. Not all of them. I left some there, and my sister still put some around the windows and stuff. But for the most part, I gussied up what I had. I cleaned it up a little bit. I had to fix some of the house up the first year, and that's it all started there with just regular AC stuff. And then after that, I got known for being extra festive during the holidays.
You're extra festive no matter what, dude.
yeah.
Festive in the fact that whenever I went to work, I really enjoyed the fact that when people came in, because I worked in a restaurant, I did food service for 25 years or so, roughly, and I would go into work, and the holiday Christmas music could come on. They changed the channels whenever I wasn't there. But if the Christmas music wasn't playing, well, you knew I was there if the Christmas music was playing, because I would automatically change the channel back to it every time. And then I would buy stuff, and I would decorate the restaurant with it. And I was so keen on getting the really good deals at the end of the year that I got enough stuff to do the whole restaurant inside. I didn't have the inclination to go outside. And that's where I got the nickname when I worked at the restaurant. I got the nickname Winter Wonderland. And the district managers, the vice president of the company, they'd come in and they'd see the store and how it was decorated, and it followed. Whatever store they put me in for that season, I did the exact same thing there, and I just did it with what I had sitting in my closet, and it was easy because I just had a simple process for doing it there. And it was probably, I want to say 2007, whenever I saw the Wizards of Winter video that we all know and love from back in the day, the one with Carson Williams or Wilson rather, and then after that it was Richard Holdman, and those kind of people kind of got me locked in on doing animation. And so in 2008, I left my job, but I switched to a different restaurant and a different company, and then I started animating at my house. I put new power to my house. I rewired the entire thing. It was a lot of work, and I couldn't afford to do it any other way than do it myself. So it started in 2008, and it just went and got out of control from there.
So isn't it crazy though now that I see Richard Holdman and with you more than I see some of my family? Like the guy that made most of the people do this, we hang out with pretty regularly, and it's kind of cool.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, I think that the thing that and let me tell you, there's a lot of things that lighting has done, not just the community, but maybe a lot of it is the community, but it's not just the community. It's the sense that you bring along with you, and it brings out the best in you to share with other people. And that's really like the hard part in things in life, is to find out what it is, what's the best part of you, what do you put all your effort into, and how do you grow that so that other people catch on to it and that you inspire them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the moment that you connect with people, and that's what's so weird about today is that we can go on these trips and we can go to these minis, and last weekend we were all together up in Northeast Ohio and had a fantastic time. But we're with our lighting family. We're with the people that we spend time online with and chatting with the most, because maybe I love all my neighbors. I have great neighbors, unlike somebody else. That's
for another show.
I hear they're moving.
There's been a series of unfortunate incidents, but to say that that I act the same way around them, because they don't get the excitement. And once you make that connection with somebody that you actually really are tuned into doing the lighting thing, and people know that, it's easier to connect with people. It just makes you a better person because you've made a connection to yourself and to other people, and it allows you to just grow together as a community.
Definitely,
it's for sure. That's spot on. So speaking of the community, we're gonna go through some of the comments people have made.
I know.
Before we asked the last question that we have for this first guest intro, because Clyde's a pro and went through everything that we have listed here. So we got one more question for him. So let's go through the comments real quick and then we'll move on.
I was going to apologize to everybody because there's a ton of comments. So
I know.
I'm going to start at the beginning and just pop them all up as we go through. So.
Oh, Brian Michael.
Yep.
We got John Bridges.
John, I don't think I've seen him comment before. Hey, John.
Mark Dixon. Mark is commenting from Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah,
man,
he's Devin. Oh,
he's a double
Devin.
watcher. There's
I got to
Ron.
give it Devin, and then Ron. He was on the
Oh, Ron wants to take LOR training too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it a date with Aubrey because she's
And then Mark's
busy.
just saying hi to Ron.
Like I'm just going through all of them. So,
Yeah. All right, what's this?
What's
Go
what?
put Larry back up there. What do you have to ask for Larry for?
Oh, that's for you, JR, because
Oh,
we
for
don't
me?
have an affiliate on
Oh.
the PPD page.
Oh, well, the affiliate thing on the PPD page is PPD could pick twice a year when to do the discount. So I'll get with them to see if
We'll
it's
get that.
time of year. So
Yep.
we'll do that. And then Ron's
And
talking
they're
back.
back.
To Mark.
Okay, they're back and forth.
Well, go to the one. Go down. Brian's actually makes words in the next couple.
It must run in the name because I did the same exact thing. He spells
Ron's
his name correctly. So.
Yeah. And everybody else saying hi to Clyde.
Yeah. Clyde is a popular person. So
Yeah, he is.
This is awesome.
Oh, you skipped that one about you giving up your display real quick, huh?
What? I don't know what you're talking about there. I must have missed something. Mark, I don't know what happened. All right.
Mark, right turn, Clyde. There you go.
Yeah.
I give it to you.
Yeah, I did. I have it. I still have it, but I haven't done anything with it yet. So, right turn, Clyde.
Oh, and Christmas on Crest Line's watching. That's pretty cool.
That's going back in the day. Matter of fact, I just saw.
That's the 70s. That's from the 70s.
Any which way but loose.
So that's exactly right. And I went to my mother forced me to go to the movie theater to watch that movie.
To watch that?
and she thought I would appreciate the monkey more than watching Superman the movie. And I was like, I want to watch Superman. No, you don't. You want to watch the monkey. It has your name in it. I'm like, I don't care about a monkey. I want to see Superman. I was probably like 5.
Mark's the Whataburger Yeti is in my cabinet at home. I actually drink water out of it. I just don't use it in public.
Hands down, best burger joint ever.
Whoa, we're not going to start a fight on the podcast.
It's not a fight. It's definitive. So you can fight if you want. I'm not fighting. Hello, Alicia.
All right, so that's all the comments right now. So here's the last question on our introduction. This might be hard for you. Tell us something nobody knows about you, Clyde.
That's a good one. I actually have something, and it's very recent. I used to hate dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I used to hate dogs.
Oh man, I can't.
Man.
I can't. Recently, oh my god.
Yeah. So seriously, I had a very bad experience whenever I was in high school. We grew up with cats. Okay. And I have an affinity for them, but I don't own any pets. I used to have hair too. Of all the things I've lost in life, I miss my hair the most. So, but that's okay. I've saved thousands of dollars by never having to get my hair cut again. So I'm not going.
There you go. Or you just cut your own. You're a military guy. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you, Brian, for your service too.
Well, thank you.
But no, I had a very bad incident where I had some dogs chase me down. I got bit up. That scared me. It scarred me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that I needed to avoid those dogs specifically, but more than that, I just didn't go around them. And as I got older, I watched how some people, not all people, were not very meticulous or caring or loving or attentive to their pets.
Yeah.
And some people are quite lazy. Okay. So when you go out and you're cutting grass and there's dog poop everywhere, that's not fun. And so I had a lot of that, and it's like I don't have the pet, but I have to pay the consequences of somebody else who's too lazy to deal with it. So that was another strike against the dogs.
Yeah.
But the older I got, and then I met Robert, and I had to bite my tongue I don't think I've ever told him this, but I had to bite my
Robert
tongue.
doesn't even know
We
this.
had four.
your dogs.
Yeah.
Dude.
We were. If you want to watch a really old video of me building a controller, I built an F-16 V3 way back in the day. It's on my Leechburg Lights YouTube page, and we were drinking beer, kicking back, having a great time all day. And he let his dogs into the shed, and his dog, who was like 1,000 years old and sounded like he had smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day, would sit at my feet as I'm recording. And it was a good dog. It was fine. Like he didn't bark or anything, but he snorted. And you could hear every noise this dog made. When it breathed, it was breathing like it had just finished like 6 packs of cigarettes. Like it was very odd. And I had to fight through it because I really liked Rob. I got along great with him. Him and I were good friends online, and we were becoming better friends because we started hanging out together more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is 2015-ish. And I'm like, well, this is his house. I have to respect him. And the things that I noticed after that day, there was no dog poop on the ground. I didn't have to step in dog poop. They were well behaved. They didn't bark, although they barked whenever they felt the need to. Like, and I get that. Like like when you're around a dog and the instinct it has, even after you put your hand down to let it like know that I'm not threatening you, just shut up. Because that's the mindset that I used to have. So it was years and years of me knowing Rob, and when going down to visit and watching how him and his wife and his kids took very good care of all of their dogs. And they've had a number of dogs over the years. And all of them grew on me. Absolutely every single one of them. Up until the point of 2 weeks ago, he called me up and he said, would you mind watching the dogs at your house while we go on vacation?
Oh.
So
are they all there right now?
Well, for an entire week last week they were. And so if you're friends with me on Facebook, you already know how the story ends.
Yeah.
But I have never ever had a dog in my entire life. And I had 2 dogs that I took care of from last Monday until last Friday night. And it was the fastest week of my life. It was a terrific, fun experience. So
is Clyde dog hunting?
I would consider having a dog. Yes. Small dog, not a big dog. Small dog.
That'd be awesome.
Look at that.
So
you gotta go with dog.
You know what? You know what? Sometimes you just have to let some things go in your life, and you have the right people point you in the right direction. So there's something that nobody knew, and I really have never said that story out loud. So there you go.
So I'm anxiously waiting for your next videos to have a dog in the background.
Oh yeah. You got to go hit the shelters and the adoption agency.
I have to learn. I have to learn. That's so like my MO is, and this is how I took on lighting. I would absolutely bury myself in every bit of information and knowledge in exactly what I needed to know in order to pull things off. There were things that in lighting that we generally knew, but then there were things that we had no clue about. I didn't know how to solder. I understood what wiring was, but I didn't know how to build a controller. How do you build you have to solder a controller? Back in the day, you had to solder a controller. Like you seriously did, or you had to pay somebody to do it for you. And so there were so many skills that you had to learn about and then practice on, and then hope to God you didn't screw it up. And so that's that level of research. I'd probably go a little overboard, I'm sure. But yeah, I'll apply the same kind of practice to doing that exact thing.
So Christmas on Crestline thinks you're going to get a barking Christmas present this year.
I don't want any presents whenever it comes to that.
He wants to pick it.
Because I want to. If I go forward with this, then I'd like to pick. I'd like to pick out my own.
Contains live animals. Open.
Yeah.
Don't wait till Christmas.
Yeah, don't wait till if the floor is wet underneath the tree. Open immediately.
Don't worry about any boxes you receive of me with holes in it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I never knew that. So that was
nobody
so
ever
awesome.
did. Yep, it's one of those little things that you hid in the closet, and I can talk about it now. So
yeah,
well,
people are making suggestions of what type of dogs you should get now in the comments.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
okay? So
You
just
can see
so
them on the
everybody
side now on the
knows,
screen.
just so everybody knows, nothing like mid-size, small to mid-size. That's it. Of all the things that I had to deal with, like picking up the droppings of a dog, it's no fun. It just isn't. Like, not gonna lie, but you deal with it. Okay, so you go do it, and you do it immediately. And once it's done, it's done. It's like you don't have to worry about it. So I like that. I like being outside with the animals, and that's fine. And so if you have an inclination to share in the comments, go right ahead. But for what it's worth,
He's picking
I'm
his own
more
damn
attracted
dog.
to something that is small or medium size, and anything larger than medium size, I'm not. The
What are we
bigger the
talking
dog,
about here?
The bigger the dog, the bigger the poop. Okay, that's what we're talking about.
You need like a schnauzer or something. It's got a lot of personality. Oh yeah. Yeah. And matter of fact, you can cut his hair to match your goatee.
Oh yeah.
They have goatees.
You mean I could shave him? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Look, so we got dog suggestions here, and then don't get
a miniature Dachshund.
Yeah.
They are. I had a Dachshund. I grew up with a Dachshund.
I don't want a miserable animal. I want something that's happy to run around. I will not get a Jack Russell. So I'll tell you a story about Jack Russell. Sorry, John. My neighbor had a Jack Russell. See, this is let's go back in time.
Part of the hatreds of the dog.
This is back when Leechburg Lights was well on its way, and I would sit as you see me here. How my office is set up. It's set up identically with a window right there. It's set up identically in my old office. And whenever I would sit and I would do, hi, Clyde from Leechburg Lights, here's a video and blah, 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 blah. I would have to do it between the time that my neighbor had the dog outside, because from the second it was outside until the second they brought it in, and it was a Jack Russell. And I swore to God, I kept saying, dear Lord, please give me the strength. Please give me the strength, because it was miserable. It was the most miserable dog. And God bless people who do. So this all goes back to how well people train their dogs and take care of them and love them. And I know that now. Now, after a few years, that dog managed to annoy his owner, that he said he was just so miserable, I couldn't take it anymore. So he took him to a shelter. He said,
some are definitely yappers, and they're I mean,
so no yappy dogs. No yappy dogs. Can't have a yappy dog.
Yeah,
that would give me too much stress.
My dog's too big for you, but she just lays around the house.
Mm-hmm.
But when she barks, you
shakes the walls.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I have a Rottweiler, but she's just a big baby.
But no, if it was much more well behaved, well trained, then I wouldn't have been so annoyed. But the Jack Russell is definitely off the list as of right now.
Yeah, no Chihuahuas. You don't want a Chihuahua.
Yeah,
they will only love you and hate everybody else. And
I don't know if that's true though, because like Nacho is a toy Chihuahua.
Well,
and
he's different though, because he was raised by Robert. So
well, exactly. So it has a lot to do again
with the owner.
So this is where I have my big turnaround is, and the Jack Russell, if it's well behaved and it's I don't want to say polite, that's the wrong word. If it's cheerful and it's not like dramatic, I don't want a dramatic dog. That's like, oh, poor me. Where's my
so,
no.
we should move on to his display a little bit now that we're practicing for
we could
Clyde's
talk
new
dogs all day long.
I feel like this is going to be Clyde's new show live because he's going to get all the research for dogs and stuff. So he's going to have a dog show.
This month's sequence is going to be dog based.
Yeah, who let the dogs
out? It's on his screen right now. Don't tell anybody. Next month's club member sequence of the month.
Yeah,
you know,
I
had to throw it in there.
I expect everybody to guess that song for next month.
It's going to be hippodogamous.
Oh Lord.
All right, so where are we then?
We're going to the speed round.
Are we on the speed round already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Do I have to see the screen for this?
No.
Oh, okay.
You do not.
All right. So as fast as you can, go through your controllers at the house, pigtails, software, voltage, pigtail preference, and any other useful hardware that you use, probably your sequences. And then, so go.
So everything in the show, I would say I am probably 50% or 60% Valken controllers. Raywu are on my 5 volt. 5 volts in the yard. 12 volt is on the house. I know that's kind of counterproductive, but controllers, I probably have 20 of them, 15 of them, something like that. I don't know. I don't count them anymore. I don't know how many props I have. Couldn't tell you. But I like both 5 volt and 12 volt. My X Connects are 12 volt. My Raywu are 5 volt. That's kind of easy. Yeah. And sequences are 100% PPD. And I have to pick ones that Robert doesn't pick because he's around the corner. So. And his wife picks the songs, and she picks really good songs, and I never get to use the really good songs. So.
I get that. That makes sense.
Right.
I have a guy around. I have John around the corner from me too, so we gotta change things up a little bit.
Now, do you use FPP or do you use X schedule?
I'm a firm believer in X schedule, and that's pretty much what most people need.
Whatever. You wasn't a dog guy before, so.
Wow.
Oh, I like.
Look, I did an entire series last year on FPP for dummies, and I'm the biggest dummy whenever it comes to FPP. And in the end, I still decided to go with X schedule. So
yeah. See, Clyde's really smart because I use X scheduler too. Just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I don't understand why it's so challenging to use.
I don't know. Now we're on to hot or not. So I don't know if you know what hot or not is. We're going to ask you about some trends in the hobby, and we gotta tell us if you think they're hot or not and why.
Okay.
So first one, moving heads.
They're hot, but they're going to fizzle out. People get
really
stressed out with them. Yeah.
Yeah, they are very stressful, and to me, I like them for my house, but they also are very attention getters. So, like, if that's something you don't want
attention, don't put a big moving head on your house.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get people that aren't even looking for Christmas lights. Just be like, "Where's that light coming from? Is it a spaceship? Oh no, it's this guy's house."
If I was in Leechburg, I wouldn't mind having it, but I know I have neighbors that live behind me, and they were on the hillside. So if I swing those around, they're gonna go into somebody's house. So yeah, they're great. They're great. They're fantastic. They really capture attention. They are very dramatic, but they're certainly not for what I'd like to do. But I don't mind sequencing them. I enjoy them. But yeah.
All right. Well, I am going to ask you hot
Hold
or
on,
not.
we got a question.
A
comment.
A big one.
Yeah.
So Mark's asking because they are so confusing. He's asking. Well, I didn't catch the end of it. Can you put that back up, Brian? Please?
Yep.
He's asking. The biggest issue is most sequencers use different ways to sequence. Has any of the vendors had a conversation on making a standard to make things easier? And the answer is no, because it's hard to make a standard when the developers give you different ways to do things. I have a literally a carbon copy house, and people have these houses. It's a split entry or bi-level, whatever you want to call it. And there are millions of these houses across the United States, and not one of us who has this style of house decorated the exact same way. So there is absolutely no way in the world that anybody in the community is ever going to agree on, this is how I should name my props, this is how I should sequence my moving. So that's unfortunate. So
yeah, the only way I think there'll be a standard way of sequencing moving heads is if Lex Lights only had one way to do it. But also there's all these sequences that exist with multiple ways, so how could they move to one way and make everything not work?
Exactly. So so there's more to it than that too. So again, put my hand up. I don't use moving heads in my show, and I don't feel the stress of everybody trying to make what I've done work in their show, other than they're stuck and they bought something that they don't know how to use. And you know, when you program a sequence that's literally, we only charge $20 for the sequence. Like, that's the $20 sequence is what causes people the most stress. And so how much support can you afford to give to that? And like, if everybody, you know what I mean? It's not that we don't, and we do. Like tonight, it's open mic night. If people come in the room, and we've spent all night talking about moving heads. And that's generally what happens at the beginning of the season. But after a while, people get used to them. They figure them out for themselves, or they find the things that don't work for them and they avoid those.
So my thing is, like, the one thing we implemented in the moving heads was the no-fly zone. So you didn't have to screw with your sequence, in hopes to make that easier for people to use. Except for the no-fly zone takes a little bit of them figuring out. But the goal with that is you could put anybody's sequence on there and it won't shine where you don't want it to. At least that's a simple step for that. But yeah. So next hot or not thing.
So
Brian?
I was going to bring up pebble lights. What you thought about that?
I like them.
What you thought about them?
I like them. They are another tool in the toolbox. They're not a fix-all, end-all. This is how you do it. We're all moving to pebbles. We're not doing that. But they are phenomenal whenever it comes to the ability to morph them into so many different projects. So I like their versatility. I like how simple it is. They're a string of lights, and the downside certainly would be if one goes bad, you probably have to replace the whole string, because it's hard for people to solder. People have challenges or issues. There are no easy click together things that connect two of those cords together. You have to use some sort of connector, outdoor connector. And is that a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. But it's another thing for whenever you folks that are new and you're doing something with them and you don't know how to fix something, especially if it's on a prop. Let's say it's a wireframe, and you don't know which is the beginning and which is the end because it's halfway through the string. Now you've got to figure out there's no directional arrows on them that I'm aware of.
Right.
So they have their challenges, but I like them. And I think the more that people get comfortable with them, I think that they'll find better uses for them. So we had this discussion. It was a great discussion we had a couple months ago. It must have been in December or January, whenever I was working on my Snowman wireframe, and everybody said, well, why don't you use these seed pixels? And I'm like, I didn't think to use those because I have a bunch of 5 volts that I want to use. And I wanted to play with my 3D printer, and so I think they're great. I really do. And they're so versatile. There's so many things that can come up with it. Not only that, but new products. So for example, you, JR, you came up with a Kraken system. Now, I don't know what that all is based on. I'm not saying they're the same thing, but it is a phenomenal and interesting addition to how we display our stuff. And it's a way to not have a cookie cutter setup compared to everybody else.
They're Evos inside of the Kraken stuff, so they're a little bit bigger and a different chipset than what people consider seeds, because they would be bigger seeds. So
you're fading in and out a little bit, JR. I don't know if that's something too far away.
Probably because I'm putting these papers in front of my microphone.
Okay, you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I probably should not put the papers in front of the
I'll
microphone.
I'll pretend like I printed out the questions here, and I'll have them with me as well.
I don't have a stack of papers to grab. Oh wait, I do. I have
Well, he's always harping on me. How come you're not printing those out?
Can't hear me now. No, there you go.
These are still the same ones. It's not like I print a new set out every time. It's just the same ones. I got my notes from everybody on them.
Brian, you still have a notebook with you everywhere you go? Some habits never die. Some habits never die.
Yep. And you know what? I was going through some boxes out in the garage. Oh, squirrel. And I found some of my old notebooks that I used to carry in my breast pocket in my uniform. And I started going through there, and I'm like, holy cow, my handwriting wasn't worth that crap.
But it didn't matter. But
wait,
did you
remember
remember
write
that?
worse than you do now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you're standing and writing and you're taking instruction from leadership, you're like rushing to get everything down that you need. Yeah, totally, Brian.
Oh, yeah. You have your own version of shorthand. And if you were out on a job site, you know, and you're in a dump truck or a loader or excavator or whatever you're working on, you know, and you're needing to take notes because the boss is yelling at you, you know, I mean, your engine's running and all that. So, yeah, you're doing very abbreviated shorthand that only you could read. I should post some of them. Nobody would have a clue. So before we move on to the more deep dive discussion about your display at your house, does anybody watching have any hot or not questions for Clyde or any of us? Any fads or anything you want to know what Clyde thinks about it?
Yeah, I'm usually not shy about my opinion, but
no, definitely not.
I think sometimes. Oh,
I don't know.
Hello.
I'm pushing buttons.
I was going to give you a kiss there, Brian.
Right. Well, I did notice that JR figured out how to put the comments scrolling on the.
Yeah. You like that?
That was pretty neat to come up.
Yeah.
So you can't hardly read. I have to use my bifocals, but.
All right. So Mark has one hot or not. What do you think of the Govee stuff?
What do I think of it? I think it's terrific. I think I believe it's hackable, right? And I mean, honestly, I can go back to 2013, which is the first year I started using RGB, and it was inspired because of the Gemi or Gemi, however you say that company's name. Gemi had these strips that were on sale at Sears, Lowe's, Home Depot, and I was still in the military back then. And I walked in my uniform and I was like, hey, everything's on 50% off sale, whatever. And I said, do you think you can do any better than that? No, we'll hook you up if you buy them all. And I bought this whole, I don't want to say it was a pallet. It was like a bunch of boxes, like 20 boxes of them. And there were multicolor LEDs and there were single color LEDs. And I came home and that's what got me, those are exactly what got me into the RGB side of the hobby. And that was 2012. That's what got me inspired to learn about pixels. And so I have no experience with them, obviously. There are plenty of things to this day, you can go pick up. And if you figure out what protocol it's using, where the entry side of it is, what voltage it's using, you can convert some things over into X-Light's world, make a model for it. And I think it's terrific. It truly is a way that you can get away from everything being carbon copy, and every show looks the same, whereas you can do some different things. So I really like that. I think that's a great idea.
Well, and kind of a follow-up with that too was the Twinklies.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Twinklies. So we had tried using some things with Twinkly in a commercial setting. And so I'm not as knowledgeable of this because that fell a little bit more on Robert's side. He had the controller, and there were definitely challenges when we were trying to make them work. And so for simplistic reasons, we opted to go with something that was a little bit more robust. Not that they aren't, because we don't know. I don't know, but something that was a little more well known that we knew was reliable. So. I think they're just as good. I mean, people are having good luck with them. I've seen some pretty interesting setups with them in it. You know. Okay.
And then Martin had one last one.
Oh, sequencing a group or model and submodels?
So, well, that's kind of tricky, right? If I had my way, I would sequence only on the model level ever. I can do so much more because of the fact that I am engaging in individual model sequencing versus doing everything in a group, because I can't always accomplish the things I'd like to accomplish. But over the years, I've had to always think about the end user. And to me, it is far more important to make something work the very best that it can in any situation. So that's whenever I'm sequencing, that's my goal. And so when somebody imports something, that it's going to look as best as it can in the way that they set up their show compared to how we set up the layout. There's always going to be questions why something doesn't work, which is good because it leads that person to understand how, oh, I can make changes, and these are the kind of changes I can make. And because it's impossible for me as a sequencer to imagine every scenario of houses out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good question.
Nope, I totally get it. That's hard to do because you're now sequencing for everybody. I'm sure if you were just sequencing for yourself, you would go crazy on per model. But
Yeah, you got quiet again.
Yeah, you got
Really?
quiet. And there's no paper in your hand.
There's no paper in my hand this time.
I
There you
know.
go, there you go.
Yeah, you were just, and then just kind of faded away like you were.
I don't know.
Asleep, so I don't know.
Maybe I turned it up a little bit.
That's weird.
There we go.
All right, well, let's try that for a while.
Yeah, we'll try that. We'll see how it goes. All right. So now we're going into like the deep dive of your home display, Clyde. And I'm saying home display because you do a lot of stuff with other stuff, but we want to know about your house. So what do you think is the most popular prop you have out there?
I really don't know. It's everything to me now is in it. I'm in a new place. I'm in a new town, a new neighborhood. I have new neighbors, and I get along with all of them so far. And I don't know. I haven't settled in where everything actually goes just yet because in fact, this summer, a couple of weeks, I'm going to start. The garage is going to get started construction. And so that's going to shake up where and how I can place props in certain areas of my yard. And meanwhile, because there's going to be a whole area that's going to be a new driveway, and I'm still going to have to use the old driveway. So it's going to be different. But I really don't know what everybody's favorite part is because our neighborhood's a little bit different. I don't have the direct communication with people, and I'm not pushing my show out for everybody to see and garner a lot of attention for it. And what I mean by that is I don't advertise. Between Robert having a show down the street and he has a little bit more of an army that helps him put things together.
They're getting older and moving away, though.
Yeah,
not yet. As long as they live in that house, they're putting that show up. But the thing is that I'm at a point where there's things I'm just probably not going to do. I'm probably not going to put a bunch of crazy stuff up on the roof, and because the wind we get here is just insane compared to what it was in Leechburg. So I really don't know. I just don't have a good answer for that.
All right. Well, I'm going to grab the one from Derek here and ask if there's any new PPD props in the works. He loves the PPD wreath. I do too. I have two of them.
I'm going to share that you all. Well, it's not from us, but in a few weeks, there's going to be some new, interesting props that are going to be released, and you definitely want to be a PPD club member whenever they come out. I'm not saying that there are models, but I like to think that maybe one of them was inspired by me. But in general, they will make terrific additions. So I'm not gonna divulge any more than that. So, but
we can keep talking here.
I do have. Between Robert and I, though, if we were to get onto like a PPD prop, I have an idea for a exclusive PPD prop, but I don't think that that's going to come anytime soon. So, oh, Alicia, I wish I could. You know what? Someday we're going to get together and we're going to meet up. We're not going to miss because Derek showed up at the Northeast Ohio area the week after we were there.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. Their trip dates were just slightly off, so we missed them for the weekend.
Ah, shoot.
So, do you have a plan for like the evolution of the new display, or are you just winging it every year?
So I always take what I do at PPD so serious, and I mean that a lot, in the fact that people will ask me, would you please do you still have time for this? And I do have the pleasure of working with a lot of great sequencers, and I also have a hard time telling people no. So if I can see that there's something that I can do to special that I feel like this really needs to be done, I have a hard time saying no to. So generally I have to finish those projects before I let myself put my own show up, and that usually pushes me up until the week of Thanksgiving. Because I have to get it done for them, and so I have a hard time saying no whenever it comes to that.
I understand that. I put up a display in 2 weeks for less.
We won't talk about your timing, boss.
Hey,
so
and I'm not gonna lie, I get everybody that I know to help me. And Clyde may know. Can you map this?
Somebody had his own little army that helped him for a couple of years.
But that's the thing. So that's I'm just like everybody else whenever it comes to their home show, especially in the new house. I've had 2 very weird years here with wind, and I thought I nailed it down the first year, but the second year, the last day really kicked me in the rear end. My PPD wreath was ruined. 90% of everything on the house was ripped off except for the icicles. It just kind of sucked.
So I had to put Ron.
Oh, look at this
message up there because we know all too well JR's schedule.
So the redesigning the show this year, it's going to be. I don't know what I can do to redesign it because I don't have the time to exactly build a new show. So it'll be rearranged probably.
So kind of going into the next question, because you've already started out fresh. What did you bring or not bring from Leechburg Lights to your new house? When you were doing that first year when you were...
From the first year of Leechburg Lights to now, and how is it different?
Well, no, from the last year of Leechburg Lights, or the Leechburg house, to the first year at your new house. What did you not bring, or did you...
Or not use?
Bring?
Like,
so
what did you use and not use?
One of the things I have to say is, as much as I love HD props, there's too much of a good thing. And probably 7 of the HD props that I have never made it out. Now, that's probably because I'd say it's more because of time, but I also appreciated the fact that it wasn't as splattered all over the house, meaning like there was too much.
Yeah.
And so I really do appreciate simplicity whenever it comes to setting up the show. And if you look at the pro layout, that's one thing that Robert is really good at, is making things simple. Everything can clearly be seen because he designed the pro layout. I've added bits and pieces where I've had to, like it's gotten a little bit more cluttered, such as the pixel forest or the singing trees in the middle of the show. But if you took those away and you only looked at just at the house, at what the house has, it has enough of everything that most everybody already has or is going to want to have. And so that's the way I kind of looked at doing my home show the first 2 years, is what is over the top enough to be over the top, but what is classy and what is not too gaudy. And so, and that's not to call names or point at anybody saying, "Oh, you're doing too much," or that's too many pixels. There's never too many pixels, but I think that the way that we can over decorate because we just saw that, we just have to do that. And I get it, But I also appreciate the fact that it's so much easier to put a show together whenever you have a good plan, and you keep it simple.
Yep. Definitely. I just said that in an email to somebody today. They were like, look what I want to do my first year. And I'm like, chill out. You don't have to go so hard the first year.
Yeah.
Robert got a nice comment about your beginning of sequencing.
Yep. Yep. I knew the candles would come up.
Tell him to get back to work.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't ever have to tell him to go back to work. The man works
So,
his ass off.
If you could, during this light show season, if you could travel anywhere, what 3 light shows would you go check out in person?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'd have to say Brad Luner's, and Rodney Burton. I would go see Rodney Burton's house. This is a terribly unfair question, because if I only have one other house to go see, I'd say David Peace, but he doesn't do a show anymore. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'd actually like to go out and have the time to go out and get around to see people. The challenge is that there's always support that you have to provide, and the traveling takes time. So you're not, and if you go see one, you get to go see as many as are close by, and so it's really, that's a really hard question to answer. But I would say Rodney Burton is definitely one of them. I'd love to go see Tom Langley's house. I'd love to see Tom's house. I've known Tom for so many years, I'd love to see Brian's house. I mean, for goodness sakes,
he doesn't do a show.
I'll have my candles out this year.
And will I get to light
I'll
them?
blow them out and light them to the music, like Robert said. So.
Like I used to do for years. Yeah, sure.
Well, we get to see Lunar's house on Light Fight this year.
Yeah, we do. We certainly do.
So, since we're talking on Light Fight, I got some Light Fight news that I got a call from Felicia today. Light Fight is changing their filming.
Oh, really?
Back to their original format of filming the same year it airs.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, so they're going back to the filming late August, and it airs that December. I don't know the details on why, but they're going back to that schedule. So technically, they are not filming anything this year. So if you were somebody that got picked for the show to be filmed this year, they're going to film you next year, and then it will air immediately after. Personally, I kind of like that, because waiting that year to after it was filmed to see how they edited it and see it and not talk about anything, it's tough. So I'm kind of okay with this change. I think it might be easier for people.
I kind of agree with that. The downside, well, I won't say the downside. When initially, because we've done a lot of work for people that have been on the Great Light Fight, and we never talk about it. Absolutely, you never hear those words out of our mouth ever. So there's times that you're excited to do the job. We've had I can't tell you how many people that we've worked with on projects for the Great Light Fight, and it's an honor, and it's a privilege, and it's something that I know that I never have to go to try to outdo myself to be on it if I don't want to. You know what I mean? If I decide that I wanted to do something like that, which it's always up in the air, but everything that Robert and I do together at PPD, I don't know that I don't know that I could pull off doing the show and pull off all the stuff that he and I get to do together. So that would be incredibly hard.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to pull off a show and do all the stuff for customers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you got to do it with a team of people, which I appreciate. People who are making comments about my timelines. Bobby's giving me a hard time. Why didn't the librarian have breaking news? When I talked to Felicia, she said she was going to call Brian, so I'm sure Brian will have breaking news on his show about it changing. Okay.
Oh yeah.
She asked me if I could say something about it, so it's from Felicia. It's just how it is. Okay.
All right. So moving on.
And I forgot to bring it up before we started the show. And when Light Fight, I was like, oh shit, I got that shit that I was supposed to talk about. So
see, you should have wrote that down on your paperwork there. So, Clyde, what's the best advice you can give somebody new coming into the hobby? Because I know you've given a ton of advice, but what's always your go-to advice?
So I think there might be 2 points that I would really impress upon people. And the first point is, don't have a dream, but realize that you have to be realistic. You absolutely have to be realistic. We see it every week, and Brian, this isn't a cut on you by any means. We see it every week. I'm selling my show. And,
yeah.
And it really does, especially whenever it's somebody who's been a club member, somebody who I've had one-on-one chats with, because I have a chat list of my own, along as many of you guys do. I'm not the only one that's helped people.
Oh yeah.
But for the past 15 years in this hobby, you build up these relationships with people, and you just know that they are going down a path in such a not so good way. And to try to remind them that please don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. And it's hard to know when you've overdone it. It just is, because it's like eating that cake for your birthday. You know, if you eat too many pieces, what's going to happen? But man, it tastes good going down. And you forget, your eyes are bigger than your stomach, and you order this thing, and you're like, oh, where do I? And so I say that's the second thing I would say is you have to give yourself, what would you love to see your house look like in 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
You have to say, your first year, you literally need to tell yourself, what do I want in 3 years? And you don't buy everything for 3 years. You buy everything for the first year, because your most important things are your house outlines. Your most important things are things that you're going to place in your yard, and some decorations that you're going to put on your house, because you are about to embark on the hardest journey of your life whenever it comes to technology mixed along with electricity.
Yeah.
And you don't know how many things are going to go wrong. And until you can do a basic one, a basic show now is 10,000 pixels. Like, that's basic to people. And I'm like, I started with 3,000 or 4,000, and that was 15 years ago almost. And so, I think those are the 2 points. Your eyes can be bigger than your stomach, and to plan for 3 years down the road.
And there's no reason you can't build your 3-year house in your X-Lights model.
Mm-hmm.
But play with submodels or like groups in there and be like, okay, this looks like a good first year. And then I'll add this, and it's a good second year. And then this is my 3rd year goal. You know what I mean? Because like my first 2 years, I just had a mega tree. One of them was a 50 count, 5 volt, 16 strands. And then the next year it went up to 100 count, 32 strands. And then I went on to more stuff. So,
yeah. Because even my first year was only 5,000. Second year, when I came out to help you, was at 10,000. So it's just progression. It's just growing as the year. And the biggest thing that grew in my shows was my trees. So, was that?
Yep, it happens.
Oh, we broke.
I don't know if I clicked
Facebook.
something or if you clicked something. So
for some reason we broke on Facebook.
Was that?
Yeah. I don't know. So maybe it will fix itself. That was our notification. Maybe that's why Brian or Bobby said that we broke the show when we talked about the Great Christmas Light Fight stuff. So I'll work on fixing that. We'll keep moving forward on YouTube and on the other Facebook pages.
So if you're on Facebook, you're not going to hear me to go to YouTube. So anyways, I think you were next, JR.
All right. So no, I did the 3 light shows. Oh, and no, you did the best advice. Okay. What do you think the next must-have prop is going to be?
Possibly what everybody learns about coming up the end of this month.
I knew that was going to be. Oh man, I'm looking forward.
Could be an easy one. It could be an easy one, but when we were at the mini last weekend, and it was said at least 2 or 3 times, sometimes the best prop that you do is the one that you make on your own, and there is really, so I have a good friend, and I'll give a shout out to him. His name's Jeff Schauger, and his wife, newlywed, Jeff and Jennifer. They've been putting on a show for years, and I've helped them religiously through chats and messages. They jump in on Tuesdays. We do a get together before the holiday starts so that he can start getting back into the swing of doing stuff, and because he forgets things every year out, you take 6 months off and you forget this stuff. So so he sends me messages as he's trying to slip back into doing what he was doing last year, and he gets earlier and earlier every year, and he's getting a little better, right? And so one of the first things that he asked me last year, he says, how do I do this? I need to add this to my show. And I'm like, well, I've already taught your wife how to make the custom models, and your wife's pretty good about remembering it. She writes down, like you, Brian, she has her notebook, and she keeps her light show notebook. And she had the exact instructions that I gave her 2 years ago. And then using those instructions, they made their own carolers out of a wireframe from Wizard of Wire. They made carolers. They made he decided to buy a piece of Coro and cut his own word out and hang it up over top of the front of his house, like above his front door. And it's the word believe, and it's in cursive writing, and he did it. And I was so incredibly impressed with that it was my favorite part of his show. And he has a very nice display, but that whenever it came time to set up his layout for mapping and what do you think is the best way to go about this, and she did all the submodels for it. I suggested maybe try mapping some of the spinner stuff into it, maybe try mapping some of the PPD stuff into it, but you're going to try to do different things different times when you map your sequences. And whenever I saw videos of him sharing this show, I just couldn't have been more proud for them. So I love the fact that people will go out of their way and make something that's that meaningful and that special. So that's what I think is the best thing to add to your show. The new great thing is the thing that you create for yourself.
That is awesome. I love that. Very much so. So with your show going out at the new house and stuff, have you had any awkward or funny interactions with the new neighbors that you have out there? Or did they come out and say, hey, there's a guy around the corner that does this exact same thing? Anything like that?
They all know the ones who we talk with the most, because we do a little block party here. It's probably going to be in a couple of weeks. We usually do it in August. They all know that we're friends, and it was a surprise to see his show move in back in 2021. Whenever after COVID, he bought that house, and then it was a surprise whenever I rolled up with my truck. I'm sure you guys saw on Facebook the days that I took everything from my house, loaded it, all the shop stuff, all the show stuff, threw it in the back of my pickup truck, and took pictures of the truck as it left the old house. And I showed up, and I literally started putting my show up outside of the back of my truck. I unloaded it, go put it on the house. Unload it, go put it on the house. And so people were shocked. They had no clue that it was coming. And after the first year, they're like, "You guys are friends, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I don't know. I think it's pretty well received. Again, we don't advertise a lot because we know if we do, it'll turn into this never-ending cycle. And we both, up the road from me is a dead end road, and there's no way to get out except if they go around the block. And if they go around the block and they back it up, then our neighbors will never be able to get home whenever they have to get home after working their 8 or 10 hour days. So we want to avoid doing anything that's going to blow ourselves up.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'm trying to do the same thing. I don't want to bring the light fight crowd that I had at the orchard to the new house. I am trying really hard to not make it popular as it was, just to make it be there.
So Mark has a question for you.
Mark says, Clyde, do you have a day job, or does sequencing pay the bills? If not, what does Clyde do or used to do? So I started, previously I was a restaurant manager. I've managed restaurants for nearly 25 years, worked as an employee and Eventually got promoted into management, and then spent a long time as a supervisor and a manager and an assistant manager and a general manager. I ran 2 stores at one time. I wasn't exactly a district manager, though I felt like it. But that's what I did. That was my profession, and it wasn't as lucrative as one would think. But does sequencing pay the bills? Ask the 100 sequencers that are out there if the sequencing pays the bills. And what you'll probably learn from them is that sequencing pays some of the extra bills, and it keeps them going. Where I earn my income is when we work with the commercial jobs that we pick up. And so the sequencing side of it, we discovered a long time ago, not because Robert isn't creative in his own right, which he very well is, that my aptitude and ability to continue to sequence was greater than his. But his ability to look at a layout and figure out the best way to design it and build it was far beyond mine. And between the two of us together, we certainly don't stay in our lanes, but and there are things that every once in a while, I'll say something and he'll be like, oh, I didn't think of that. And he'll say the same thing to me. Like I'm sitting there, now it doesn't happen like it used to, but we'll sit in a Zoom room and he'll suggest, well, if you can't do it this way, try doing it this way. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Well, that's what makes you guys so good for each other, is feeding off of each other like that.
Yeah, and he beats me up a lot. He's
what are you talking about? Robert doesn't beat anybody up.
He's good. He is very witty, and I am not. So, but between the two of us, we work our asses off together. Like a lot of people will say, what does Robert do? Like literally, what does he do? Like he's on the phone all day, drumming up business so that he keeps me busy. And I work all day sequencing to keep pumping out songs. And I work with the team to pull things together. And, we do a lot of songs, and I'm very grateful for absolutely every song that people ask us to do. Like we got to the point where I stopped taking songs in June. Like we couldn't take any more. Oh, yeah. And so the thing is do we make money off of sequences? Sure we do. Like if I didn't, then but the thing is that what really carries us through, like we love our club members, obviously. Well, and I don't want people to think that but our goal has always been not to mooch off of the community, but to provide back to the community, so to speak. And you never forget where you came from. Never, yep. ever forget where you came from.
100%, man. Yep, definitely.
And that's like the big thing. Like I don't think everybody knows, but like PPD, like yes, they do sequences. But some of the biggest shows you probably watched on the internet and went, oh, wow. Like, they didn't just sequence it. They, like, built it. Mm-hmm. Like, they designed, build the whole thing. And PPD does some amazing stuff. They're not just a sequencer. Sequencer thing, I honestly believe they still do it just to support and help the community where they came from. But it's not really the driving force in what PPD does. It's just something they offer to the community. They do some cool stuff.
I certainly couldn't take the year off, and we love what we do for the community and with the community. But if I treated PPD like a day job, let's put it this way, and I only work 9 to 5 because I certainly don't. If I only work 9 to 5, if Rob forces me to take days off because I just don't ever want to take a day off. He'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working. Stop working. Come over here and drink. I'm like, okay, fine. Because if not, I'll find something else to keep me busy with. I got to get on this. No, you need to take 5.
I never get told that. Jeez.
You can't come over here and drink.
So that was something Rob said. He says the day that I moved in, he says, you can't be over at my house all the time. And I'm like, what makes you think I'm coming to your house every day? And he's like, and so now seriously, it's not like I need to go over there.
You can't come over every day. You can move close, but you can't be like here every day.
So
he doesn't want you to move into the house next door to him, right?
Well, his neighbor sadly just passed away. One of the nice neighbors passed away, sadly. And I said, I know somebody who might be interested in buying it. And then I threw a curveball at him and I said, I'll move my sisters in there. How's that sound? Said, you wouldn't dare.
Well, if you did move next to him, you could use his help putting up your display.
Oh, well,
not him, but his helpers.
I certainly no. I see. I really have a hard time asking for help with my own stuff. My God bless my neighbor Dennis from Leechburg, and I'm still very good friends with him. Dennis takes care of the grass up there because it's a duplex and I have tenants up there. He takes care of the yard and the grass for me. I bought the lawnmower and I take care of things that he needs help with around his place too. So, well, that's his world. You got to take care of the people around you. You always have to take care of the people that need that extra eye over top of them. And that's kind of like what we do in the hobby too. So we take care of the people who come visit our shows.
So since we started talking a bunch about PPE, let's go into a little bit of PPD questions.
Okay.
We kind of already covered this, but maybe we missed something. Tell us a little bit about what PPD does.
So PPD is we are a for the community. We've always been about kind of education, spreading the word, teaching, and helping to understand this crazy hobby. A long time ago, we both realized that no matter how many people are willing to help in the community, there were always going to be people that refuse to go into a group and ask a question. No matter what, they're going to mosey through it and they're going to get stressed out and they're not going to figure it out because they're, I don't want to say afraid or embarrassed, but something really stops them from wanting to stand up in front of other people and say, I have a question. And I mean, it's no mystery. There's plenty of people and it happens. That's why we have a holiday meltdown group, right? There's no shortage for people in this community or any community to have a silly or less than polite comment to other people.
Response. Yeah.
And the responses can be downright rude and not so friendly. And our first customer, when we announced that we were going to be PPD, and that we were going to provide service to the community and help people who wanted help. We were going to do one-on-one consultations, and we would take control of the computer and work with them on whatever level it is that they needed us to do. The reception was very poor, very, very, very poor. There was a very nasty beat-up thread on us in the X-Lights group, which is still there, by the way. And and a week later, one of our customers, one of the first people that we had a one-on-one with, because, as soon as we put out that we were doing this, we had 3 or 4 or 5 people sign up and wanted to do a consultation because they didn't want to have to put up with that animosity in the community because it's there, whether we like to admit it or not. It's there. And so no matter what, we, even when we do our Tuesday night Zooms, we really try not to be light political, meaning political about this is who you should buy from, this is who you should only buy from this, you should buy sequences from here, you should only use this vendor. We try to stay out of the stressful side of directing people and giving people the best help that we could offer on a Tuesday night. And we've been doing that now for 7 years, 8 years, every Tuesday. And that to us I think that's one of the things that we brought to the community that many people don't believe or ever will believe, that there are far more people who will never ask a question in a group than they can imagine. And so we have the privilege, honor, pleasure, and responsibility every year of helping at least 10 to 15 new people who are wearing the training wheels every year.
Yeah. Yep.
and so we take that job very seriously. But that's what we do at PPD. Commercial wise, we do really, really big, crazy drive-through shows. We do some interesting installs at different zoos and so forth, and we do a lot of consulting with different businesses to help them grow or improve or sequence, which is what my half of it.
Mm-hmm.
But on the residential side, though, we do the PPD Sequence Club, which hopefully there's a lot of people here that are in the club. Brian, club member for years. JR has been a club member, but we try to always do something new every single month. And I can be honest and say for the past 8 years almost now, we've done a new song every single month. And how many people can back that up every single month? And it's because it's hard. It's a challenge. Yeah. After 8 years, you get tired.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Talking about your sequences for over 8 years, Derek had a question in the comments. Has updating old sequence brought up any surprises?
How embarrassed I am whenever I share them with my sequencers and I tell them, hey, I need this updated. That is I'm like, don't judge me, man.
Don't judge me.
It's always a learning.
Do everything it could do when I made this the first time.
It's always a learning process, though. What you did 8 years ago, especially with the advances of X lights and everything within that, with shaders and blah blah blah, all that stuff. I don't. It's changed so much. So yeah, it's going to be. You shouldn't be embarrassed of what you did 7 or 8 years ago on a sequence because of all the advancements in the hobby and the software.
So, how many employees does PPD have?
I work with at least 12 to 14 different sequencers, and our only part-time employee between Robert and I is Gavin, which is Robert's son. And he's in the process of learning and growing and becoming better with picking up parts of the job that I usually do. And it's a learning curve for him to learn how to do everything in X lights and put things together and build things on the website. So he works with Robert on putting things on the website and trying to figure that out the right way, making products and stuff, which I'm not the website person. Robert does all of the website stuff. So whenever the website goes down, he's the one who has to fix it.
I'm asking all the questions because I'm sure Brian doesn't have the questions. So I'm just going through them.
Are you just going to take over the show? You want me to step away, or
you have the questions?
This is what happens. He just gets going on a roll.
You get excited. No, he gets excited.
I want to know how we already kind of talked about it a little bit, but how did it all start with you and Robert? Because I remember watching a Leechburg Lights YouTube video of you guys building a controller, and I don't remember if that was 2016 or 2017.
Apparently when the dog was under him.
But it was if you go back to that video and you hear snorting and heavy breathing and wheezing, that was.
I thought that was Robert because he was in the background. So I'm like, oh wow, Robert must have been congested that day.
So so it was 2015. And maybe it was 2017 we did that video. Anyway, it was 2015, and I had done. It was the first year of X Lights version 4.0, which is what we use and what was known as X Lights Nutcracker 4.0. And I had the privilege of being requested to test out the software as an alpha tester. So there were 20 of us in the group, and the assignment was very basic. It was like, we want you to install this on your PC and tell us if it crashes. We want you to play with anything in there, move the sliders, press buttons, do stupid stuff, try to break it, and then report back if something happens. And so about 10 of the people that were in the initial study, and I don't know who they all were. I may know one or two. I know at least one. That was Richard Wren from Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio area. Good guy, fantastic guy.
Richard's awesome.
But I was told later by Sean, he said so many people were frustrated because they download it, install it, and they try to sequence with it, and it wouldn't work. It didn't do anything. And he said, well, of course it doesn't do anything, because we have to make sure that the architecture works first. And so this is in December of 2014. And I'm doing videos with LOR. I'm doing RGB videos and then into 2015, I started doing RGB videos and trying to get my LOR controllers, I was trying to get all of my controllers to work, the AC and all the stuff. And I was trying to just do really cool stuff with LOR that made it simpler. And because people were asking me questions. So by 2015, I spent 2014 just literally with my phone, walking around with my phone, my old Galaxy S3 cell phone, and making short 3-minute videos on this is how I did it. And I talked to the camera and I'm pointing at the thing and I'm saying I had to connect it here. And then I had to go over to the computer and I had to go do this. And then after that, I went back over to the controller and I did this. And then I did this and it output the lights and it worked. And that's how I did it. And that was the start of it, right? So Robert saw all of these videos and I started doing Leechburg Lights videos on the Leechburg Lights YouTube channel. And Rob was having issues with his Mr. Christmas. And he actually, I think, blew it up. I think he plugged too much stuff into it. And he said it was the magical.
Never plug too much stuff into that.
The magical blue smoke, as he would say. And he started looking around for either a replacement or what he could do different. And then he started seeing videos on LOR and animating stuff. And you have to know that back in 2014, there really weren't anybody in the hobby at all doing videos on YouTube, except for a handful of poorly done mock-up videos like, oh, look, I did this. But there were no how-to videos. And so I started doing basic how-to videos on X-Lights, not on X-Lights, but LOR. I knew X-Lights, and I used it to import into LOR. But that's how Robert kind of got to know me. Was he said, I watch, he says, you're in Leechburg, and he sends me a message through my YouTube channel. I'm like, yeah. I said, send me an email at Leechburg Lights, Clyde at leechburglights.com or leechburglights@gmail.com. That's what it was. And which I still monitor. I get a lot of emails through that still.
Wow.
It's crazy. Like that's 10-year-old content. But then we were BSing. I gave him my phone number and we chatted on the phone for about an hour and a half or so. And he told me what he wanted to do. And I'm like, well, I use Lightorama and I just started using X-Lights. It was the first year for X-Lights again. And that's kind of how where the friendship started. He came up to my house in the summer of 2015, and I sold him one of my E682s because David had came out with a Falcon F16 V2 controller. And I didn't need one of them because the V2 I could put expansion port on. I could have 32 outputs as opposed to the 16 that the SAN device was. So that board became the first board that Robert was able to start building his show with and learn with. And the X-Lights was getting better and better. And I used it to run a 4th of July show. I ended up going to Christmas Expo and later in July. I met a lot of the people who were involved in the X-Lights development team. I started doing some X-Lights videos on, oh, look, I'm using X-Lights and I'm doing this in X-Lights. And so I got to know some of the guys there, and I certainly didn't have the notoriety, but I had the notoriety. I didn't that I was Leechburg Lights, which I didn't think that was a thing. It was, and there were people like, you're the Leechburg Lights guy. I'm like, yeah. Thing. And so I come home and I was so excited that I was like, you know what, we need to have a mini in Pennsylvania. And I told that to Robert. I'm like, we should get together. And so I worked in the restaurant, and we had one of the locations had a really big banquet room. And so I just reserved the banquet room. I said, everybody who's going to come, it's going to be this date. And if you come, you show up, we're going to start at 8 a.m. You have to order something to eat and to drink for breakfast. And then you have to order something to eat and drink for dinner. And that's how we can have the room for free. So it didn't cost us anything. And we took up the whole room. We were there from 7 a.m. until they closed the doors at 11 o'clock at night.
No kidding.
And that was the first time that we all got together. Like, it was the first. That's why we called it a PA meetup. And that was whenever we realized that it was in July. I want to say it was August. Maybe it was August. And that's when Robert and I really got to be good friends, was when he came up and we just started hanging out, and the rest is history.
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool.
So you guys, you're not just sitting at home being a sequencer. You have a shop too, right? Where you guys do a lot of the stuff for your commercial displays and ship it out of there and all that stuff, right?
You're fading in and out again.
Did you hear me?
No.
All right. You
Wait,
guys,
something about a shop and doing stuff over at
you
the
don't
shop.
just work at home. You guys have a shop where you ship out all your stuff for your commercial displays and stuff like that, right?
We work with another company, and that company is called Easy RGB. And Easy RGB has become our over the years, they've developed into the commercial side of PPD. And they started out as we can do the builds for you. And one of the other things that they had personally, they developed. So we've always been into, Robert and I have always been into the help the community side, right? The support for the community. But when we began doing a lot of our commercial projects, we worked with a lot of vendors, and one of the vendors that we work with is Easy RGB, because they had the skills and the ability to pull and put props together and to create things and to build things and steel structures and all of the crap that goes into doing some of the bigger shows. And Robert works more on that end, right? So basically, when we talk about the two different companies, I don't work for Easy RGB, but they're local, and we've worked with them to pull together a lot of our commercial jobs. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I don't know that we do a very good job of explaining when we talk about PPD is that from day one, from the very start, we've always been about bringing all of the vendors in the community together. I don't want to call it, maybe call it Amazon, where you can go and everybody kind of works together. And we have been very much tuned that way from the very beginning, where everybody kind of works together. Mm-hmm. Where we work with this vendor to pull off this, and we work with that vendor to pull off that, and we work with this Coro vendor and this Coro vendor. I mean, we work with everybody, and we try to, and that's where the affiliate program came from, where our affiliates offer us different discounts and savings and so forth, just for the club members. So we don't ask for like a bundle of money off when we order something. We ask for a good price when we're trying to do a project. What can we do here? But generally, we kind of hope that as affiliates that you'll take care of the club members. So
Very cool. I didn't know if JR, you had a follow up.
Well, it was your turn.
I don't know.
It was your
I thought
turn.
you
I
were
was
going to
waiting
follow
for
up.
you.
You were thinking about something. So
No, I was sitting here waiting to be like, I bet you Brian doesn't know what the next question is. I bet you Brian's going to be quiet.
Are you going to be done now? Where do you see yourself in, well, you and Robert, PPD, Pixel Pro Displays, in 5 years?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I mean, I don't want to say this hobby is changing, but it's maturing. And with anything, you have to be ready for whatever is coming along. And I think that one of the things, and I mean, this has a little bit more to do with easy RGB, I guess. I think where the hobby is going is somewhere where most of the hardcore hobbyists don't want it to go. And that is less hands-on and more ready and completed.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's far more of those people out there that don't do a show and would like to do a show or would do a show if it weren't so bloody hard.
Yep.
And it's not hard, but it is hard when you only have November and December to plan for it.
Yeah. Well, it's super hard. Look at the Zoom room and how many people go in there for help. Like that just shows you how hard it is to do this hobby.
So and that's why we work with the guys with Easy RGB, because they're the programmers who work with our customers to build a back end that kind of pulls together for the end customer what they want, and they don't have to learn any of the hard stuff, or they don't have to go through a lot of it. So we spent a lot of time, incredible consistency. That's all I can say is the way our layout is. And with our consistency and the other consistency that other sequencers might have over the years, that means a lot to the end result of a project. And if you have that consistency, you can achieve more things that are easy to take to a different market. And so I think that's where things are going. Is I think they're heading down a path of and again, I don't think a lot of people want to see this, but I think you're going to start seeing many more complete, ready to run, hands off. No, I'm not getting in a Zoom room. I just want to plug it in and it just works. And then I want to walk away, and then I want to unplug it and put it away for the season. So that's,
there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
We get that a lot of like,
so real quick,
so
let me, I'm going to turn tables on you guys. Let me ask you a question. How much of your life would you get back if you didn't spend all year working on your show? And I'm not saying that spending time on your show isn't therapeutic, helpful, healthy. I'm saying, how much of your life would you actually get back and do other important things with? If I'm gonna
answer this just real quick, because I'm getting a shit ton of fishing in and quality time with my son, because I'm not stressed that, oh, I got to start laying my stuff out. Oh, I got to mow. Is it going to rain again? And start setting up the steel with the mega tree, the snowflake trees. I haven't thought once about it. Now I do need to clean my garage and kind of get stuff organized. So, if hopefully somebody here in town wants to get it, I could easily load it on my trailer and get it over to them. But I mean, taking a year off for me, I do a shit ton of cooking, just like you, Clyde. I love cooking Thanksgiving meal, the full blown Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah.
My wife does the green bean casserole.
I do everything. Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Oh, dude, I'm with you. You have to come up here to Montana. I'll feed you good, man. I promise.
And same here, because my sisters come down for Thanksgiving, and I do the same thing with them. So I get it. I totally get it.
Like last year, I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have to rush through dinner or anything, even Christmas dinner. I even do a blowout on Christmas Eve with or a bunch of horsey doovers. Hors d'oeuvres. There we go.
Horsey
doovers. my hick is coming out. But you know, I mean,
we
I don't
also
have
try
to-
to make words on this show, not just
I don't have to go out and babysit traffic. I don't have to worry about, okay, who's parking all the way up on my, my yard or anything like that. It's so nice because I could just cook, I can eat, and get fat and happy, and I'm good. And
I'm a little bit
there's
different
so
than
much
everybody
time.
else.
He is.
Okay?
He's a lot.
I worry about putting up my display about 2 to 3 weeks before I put it up, and I will figure it all out. I in the last 3 years, I have not had the same display on my house, and I'll tell everybody on my team, I'm going to start putting up my display, and they all think I'm crazy, and I get it done in about 3 weeks, and I set it up. I put my Ring camera on it so I can watch it, and then I'm like never home. So it just goes. And I don't worry about traffic. I don't worry about anything.
So that's
let it run.
same thing here. Same thing here. I mean, like I as much as I have things that I want to get done, I didn't get everything I wanted to do, but I spend so much time working and doing what I need to do to accomplish tasks for the customers, right? So whenever it comes to setup, I do the same thing. It's like when my last job is finally done, that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to go start throwing stuff out in the yard, and I think I am going to take a little bit of a different detour this year. I'm going to do things a little bit differently. Like I am going to mid-October, I'm going to get my controller boxes ready in October. I'm going to have my network sitting outside at the end of October, and I'm going to have all my network set up and be able to communicate. That way it's done. And then I can start taking props outside. So every year a little bit, because it's a new place, right?
And I am doing things different this year, Brian, and everybody.
That's only because I brought up Halloween like 2 weeks ago.
And James, be ready. Because I got like 4 sheets of printed Coro coming your way because I designed a new Halloween display for the house.
I still say you should have stuck with Whisper. But
I saw Mark put a question up there.
Sticking with Whisper. I'm just going to let the kids deal with it.
Yeah.
Right on. Yes.
But normally I haven't designed Halloween or Christmas yet at all, and then I design all new stuff, and then I beg James to make it really fast for me, and it's all new. But this year I'm trying a little bit more ahead, so we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be
stressful.
Love you,
James.
Going to be stressful.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? I mean, he has a hard job too, right?
Man.
My gosh!
Talk about somebody to put some hours in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he builds a drive-through on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
I forgot about that project. I forgot that was a surprise too last year. Oh, you're doing a drive-through. Oh, goody.
Yeah. So, if there's one thing you could change in the past of PPD, what would it be?
If there's one, I didn't hear you at the end. If there's one thing I could change in the past,
of PPD, what would it be?
In the past of PPD, what would it be?
Like in the progression of your business, if there's one thing you guys did in the past that you would have changed and did differently.
I have a few regrets on how I developed the pro layout after Robert completed it. I would definitely add a few submodels into the yard, but we're so far into it that I feel like if I go in now and add submodels to some of those props,
people will lose their mind.
Right. And we're to the point where we have 350 songs in the store. Mm-hmm. And now I have to go back and update 350 songs. And I'm still in the process of trying to update the ones that never had an update before. So,
yeah.
I personally, that's probably one of the things. I wish it's hard to say anything else that I really would want to change. I mean, this hobby and this community has changed me for the better. I'm a better man than I've ever been in my entire adult life because of this community. And I am grateful that I get to wake up every day and do what I get to do. Because I also I don't none of us deserve anything in life. We deserve what we get back in return for what we've given out.
Amen.
And so I deserve is a very heavy word that I almost will never use. But I also think that sometimes many people get to work. They do work really hard, and they never achieve something that they feel like is monumental in their life. And I'm so grateful that I have had that experience doing what I do.
Yeah. That is, yeah. Holy cow. Yeah, that's deep. That was real good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go there, but
no, that's awesome. I
agree 100% with you. Like,
yeah, I can't agree more. It's
what you do is how things like will go for you, you know?
Yeah. So other than the Secret Squirrel props coming out soon, is there anything else you would like to promote?
Well, I will say that there is something very exciting coming up this weekend with Pixel Pro Displays. Yeah, and we'll talk more about this offline whenever you guys aren't live.
Sounds like the affiliate program.
And
anyways,
but in general, we're grateful to be surrounded by so many fantastic, solid, hardcore vendors in this community, and that there is going to be something very exciting that we're going to talk about coming up pretty soon. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also want you to promote your Tuesday night Zoom room with PPD. So,
absolutely. So
yeah, I know you brought it up earlier, and I'm like, let's wait, but then I didn't want to forget.
So it's about 6:49 p.m. At 8:30 every Tuesday, we jump into our Pixel Pro Displays Zoom room. If you go to pixelprodisplays.com and then you head on over to I usually have it open up here.
The webinar.
There's a drop down link that's called Learning, and under that it says PPD Zoom webinars. If you click on that, we have a Zoom room that we dedicate to every Tuesday night. We don't necessarily lock this room. If you do, anybody can use the Zoom room. Like, it's always there, it's always open. But what we do on Tuesday nights is we're just there to generally answer questions, help people through their challenges. We typically charge for an hour of one-on-one service, and we get plenty of those, trust me. But there's also good questions that some people in the hobby, they're going to learn eventually different things. So it's good for them to sit in the Zoom room and kind of hang out and sit there and listen and learn. And then whenever something strikes a chord, then they unmute their microphone and ask a question, and that's when they learn stuff. I see Derek's a good example of a visitor and a.
You can't tell everybody about Fight Club. That's the first rule.
So, but we do, So we kind of stick to we try to stick to whenever it is an open mic night, like tonight in a few hours. It's going to be at 8:30 tonight Eastern time, because I don't know who's watching and when they're watching. If you jump in the Zoom room, we typically have an open mic night every other week, meaning where we just open it up to anybody can talk about anything they want. We do have a prize drawing tonight. Excuse me, I choked on that. Brian, hi Brian, take care, guys.
Yeah, he said no.
But in any event, we usually do the open mic night where people can ask questions if they're working on something. And I know some nights it's very boring because nobody's working on anything. They're stuck in the middle of summer. Well, I can guarantee you now that as of last week, everybody's like, oh crap, it's August and I got to get my crap done. And so usually things start to pick up about this time of year in the Zoom room. And we have a very laid back approach to answering questions, and we try to be non-threatening, and meaning you don't get bombarded with the same answer from 7 different people, because
Clyde's always non-threatening.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I go back to the early years, and there were some curmudgeons in the group that that you didn't RTFM, and you're like, wait a minute, we don't have to go there, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going there. They need to, Daddy's coming home, and we're smacking a baby on the backside because they're not paying attention. Like, no, you don't have to do that.
Wow.
So the official group used to be, you were terrified to ask a question.
It was the Wild West. There was
because
if
you didn't know how to search well, you were going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tongue lashings, keyboard lashings.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then on the opposite weeks we do a live webinar. I'll come up with some topic. Usually it's something inspired by something that somebody asked a question on, or something was brought up the week before, or something that somebody sent me an email on. And if it's interesting, I like to answer questions and do new content, new video content for people who are trying to get to grips with the hobby. So that's what we do on Tuesday nights. You're welcome to join us. We do have a limited room. There's only room for 100 people in there. So, and just like Derek said earlier, we do have something we call PPD After Dark, where we get a little rowdy, and we're not just drinking iced tea, because it's after dark. So
I feel like Mark is getting to the rapid fire questions already.
Yeah, right.
Is the Minecraft movie worth watching, Clyde?
I have no idea what that is.
Well, I saw it with my kids, and it was okay. So,
I
anyway,
thought it was a joke.
So
I didn't even know there was.
I don't know.
Yeah. Are there any good songs in it? I need to know.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's shit. I forgot what it is, but my kids sing it all the time. It's something about lava chicken. Yes, my kids love lava chicken.
Lava chicken.
Yes,
sounds like something it's a sequence.
Put that in your.
I'm sorry, Clyde.
Put it in your notebook, Clyde.
Lava chicken.
Yep.
Okay, lava chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get to the rapid fire questions. We're only going to do a couple here because one of our good friends, the Librarian Show, starts pretty soon. And then once you watch the Librarian Show, you're going to leave Librarian Show and you're going to head over to PPD Zoom room.
There you go.
We got the whole rest of your night planned here. So, rapid fire questions. My first one is, what color is your toothbrush?
Blue and white.
If animals could talk, what would be the rudest animal out there?
An ostrich.
Ostrich, really?
Yeah. I can see that.
I love it.
See that. That makes sense.
They always got a smile, though.
Like, get out of my way now.
All right, you're a food guy. Why are pizzas round and come in a square box?
There's no real good answer for that, other than the fact that just the way that you can shape the dough, and it's easier to shape it into a circle than it is a square. Way easier. Trust me. And I like making. I make homemade pizza dough, man. Let me tell you, if I was trying to make it a square, it's hard. So.
Nice. I'm going to keep on the food and go with, why do they call them chicken fingers when chickens don't have fingers?
Because they're in the shape of a finger, silly.
What kind of finger are we?
All right, and my last one for today. If you could only eat one thing for breakfast forever, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that's a food, but okay.
No, I mean, you know what? I've eggs, sausage, toast, and some sort of potato. I could live on that every morning for breakfast. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah. It's easy breakfast. I mean, I worked in food service for years. The last person that's picky about food is me. So,
all right.
Mark says bacon.
So I was gonna, but if I only was stuck with one, and I know people more. Bacon is way worse for you. So if I couldn't have bacon, I'd be healthier with the sausage. Doesn't sound right, but yeah.
Oh, we're also going to have a dog show with Clyde, and then we're going to have cooking with Clyde.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Clyde's nights are going to be pretty busy.
Oh yeah.
You know what? The cooking thing really hit me from out of nowhere. Like I just was like, it's literally been since 2018, since the end of 2018, that I left the restaurant business and I started doing PPD full time. And I told myself that, and this is 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I am never going to forget these recipes. I make these recipes all the time. And there we had some fantastic homemade scratch recipes.
God.
Cooking a dog with Clyde. Come on now.
Oh, time to wrap it up.
But no, I mean, I had all those. I had all of those recipes stuck in my head, and I swore I'd never forget them. And then I started thinking about, man, I really love to make that again. That was a really good. And then I'd go back and we said this up I said this up at New York. I said it in Indianapolis, and I said it a little bit up in Northeast Ohio when we were there. That I really enjoy using ChatGTP because it really helps me jog my memory on some of the recipes that I used to cook at the restaurants. So,
yeah. Or would you ask it to make my obituary from mine?
Oh yeah, we had fun with it. Yeah, we had fun with it there. I done forgot about that. Yours was definitely much more creative than mine was.
I use it a lot.
No, I do. You know what? That's something you guys didn't bring up. But I really think if there's anything that's going to change the hobby, I think AI is going to change the hobby. And I'm not talking about sequencing, and I'm talking. I think creativity is there's a little bit of creativity, and that's why I said it earlier. People are going to be creative and come up with something that they're going to do on their own. And I think that AI is going to help people be more creative, because it certainly has pushed me in that direction, like a lot.
So I've been wanting to make a story out of my show every year. So this year I put in what Halloween songs I wanted to play on my house and how many characters I had and what they were. And I asked Chat to come up with a story. And then I asked it to come up with a script for each character.
Mm-hmm.
And it is amazing.
Yeah, it was
amazing.
It was pretty cool.
So, the thing is that there's only so much that AI can do for you, but when you feed it something like that, it's going to come up with something that if you had, and this is the way I see it. This is why I don't think it's cheating to use AI whenever it comes to like things that we're doing, because it's like it can't do what we do. So, but what it does do is it gives us a fresh perspective on things. And so I like, if you're not using AI, you should be using AI. Really
I think also it just speeds up the thinking process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, because eventually your idea would come out.
Yeah.
Because if you and I were sitting on the phone talking over, hey, I really want to do this. Well, I might say, well, if you did that, you might want to sit and do this. And then, oh, well, if I did this, if I followed that, I could do this then. I'm like, you start throwing the ideas around, and eventually, and so if you want to get philosophical, there really is no original idea. All ideas have already been thought of. And that's a really
just
deep
to
subject
act on
to get into. But that's a train of thought in the philosophical community at this point. So
all right.
Mark says AI is already being added into X-Lights by Keith. So all right.
Wrap up.
Quit feeding Skynet.
Feeding Skynet.
All right, so rapid fire is over, and we got to end the show because Brian's show was starting right now. So head over there, check it out. Thank you for watching us for today. Thank you, Clyde, for being on the show. It's always great talking and hanging out.
Clyde, love you, buddy.
Glad to be here.
Big old hug.
I see Clyde more than I see family that lives like 20 minutes away from me. So
I know I need to get out of Montana
Oh, that's actually because you leave your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Yep. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. Later.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yo, it's that time again. The Zoo Sasquatch Vacation Contest is live. Take our sticker somewhere awesome. Beach, mountains, Disney, a trash can, it doesn't matter. Just make it epic. Send your pic to Andy at mattosdesigns.com by August 5th for a shot at $1,000 in prizes. Let's see where the Mattos crew ends up this summer. Now go get wild with it.